You know, in the job menu when a job isn't selected and the palette is like kind of grayed out.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not even grayed out, it's kind of weird. It's like browned out. Well, if there was a fighting game of this, one of the color palettes should be that.
Oh.
The non-selected job.
Just grayscale.
Oh my god, I forgot that Geomancer's just fucking shitty bootleg Santa Claus with high heels.
Bootleg Santa. It looks like I'm being eaten by a piranha plant. Whoa! Okay, I didn't know they did that.
Looks like a CD from, or a TM from Pokemon.
Yeah, I'd be willing to bet it's almost identical.
Looks like a CD from Sega CD.
This is not like a big deal at all, but it's always struck me as weird how so many SNES and NES games are like, okay, your overworld sprite, when they're walking left and right, they like bob up and down, but when they're walking up and down, only their hands are moving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's it's like really noticeable with like Ness in Earthbound and shit.
It's like always happens in Pokemon.
Yeah, that too.
I remember when I first saw it, you know in Pokemon Red, when you get on the bike, your head gets squished.
Yeah, because you have to fit into the single
I
time.
remember the first time I saw that, I was like weirdly offended by it. I was like, come on.
Come on.
You can do a little better than that. Why did they put this music in Theatra though?
Because you hear that TikTok sound?
Oh, like for the kids?
Yeah.
TikTok?
Yeah, exactly.
Can kids do a TikTok dance to this? And it's just a toddler crawling out of a book.
Do it. You can do it.
Jumping slash!
Oh.
Like the entire...
Oh, we're level 5 apparently. Okay.
Back to Hydlide.
Yeah.
T&E Soft is kind of the masters of like being really innovative, but because they're one of the first people to do it, they suck at it and everybody forgets them.
Yep.
Like with like Hydlide came out before Legend of Zelda. They made 3D golf games for like Wicked 18 for SNES is like the 3D. It doesn't even use the FX chip, but the 3D is pretty good. And then you have Virtual Hydlide with like randomly generated worlds, which is kind of neat. So they're like they like do it first, but because they do it first, they suck. And the people who refine on it are the ones that are remembered.
Well, they did refine on their own highlight shit with... Weren't there 4 Hydlide games? Like, one of them was Japanese only?
Yeah, Super Hydlide is Hydlide 3, and Virtual Hydlide is a remake of the first one.
Super Hydlide honestly seems like it's not bad.
Yeah,
that's like it reminds me of Ultima. It's like a game I might actually want to play sometime.
It seems like it's a game where if you play it back in the day, when every game was just like an adventure you had to strap in for, it probably was a fun experience. But now, like quality of life is just a thing that all gamers need.
Lena is very brightly dressed for being a ninja, by the way. She's got like all primary colors as bright as they can be.
Fisher Price ninja.
She probably looked at her hair and was like, well, not gonna be able to fix that. Gotta find a different way through.
I thought that was gonna be like a quirky Undertale thing where you do it enough and he's like, it gets exhausted.
If this game was made today, then yes, but not so.
It's kind of like sad how hard pressed you would be to find like writing in games now that isn't really meta. Being meta is only really rewarding when you're not meta usually. like if you go through a whole 47 seasons of a show and then one episode they like are meta about something, it's kind of funny because it's like, oh, that's because I mean comedy is supposed to having comedy is just being subversive, and so just being predictable isn't funny. So that's kind of that weird thing where it's like the zeitgeist of comedy changes in waves so that you have to like know what's not common right now to be more funny. That's the thing, is just cynicism is so much easier than being sincere.
Nobody wants to be sincere nowadays, you crazy?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Finally, I can do good damage.
I think as you get older you kind of learn more of the values of sincerity, and
yes.
just like experiencing life in a veil just kind of gets boring and exhausting. I always like that guy's in the middle of some crazy animation. Woo! Like okay, I finished drawing all 47 frames of his super, and they're like, grabbed one of the frames, and I'm like, got it.
And they just wipe his hard drive. It's like, we'll be needing that.
Got the keyboard shortcut to open quick format.
There's a keyboard shortcut for that?
Probably not. That would be kind of dangerous. You could make a... No, he just plugs in one of those USBs that, like, bricks your computer. Do you think that you took the era of the internet of awesomeness for granted?
What does that mean?
Like, just that era of the internet where, like, there would be a picture of, like, a cat, and it would be like, awesomeness. You know? You know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm
You mean like top, bottom,
No.
like bottom text?
You know what? Maybe this is just my own world. Seriously, all these, like, NPC archetypes remind me of Mario Striker's teams.
You mean like the teams of Toads or Boos or whatever?
Like, choose your team. You want the
I want the librarians.
wizards or the librarians? The Los Angeles Lizards. Back in, like, 2015, there was this ad on iPhone. It was just this, like, thing for iOS where it would make it so when you change pages on your home screen, it would make a cool effect. But the ad was like 5 seconds. It was just this guy going,
Click Cool Swiper. And voila!
What? It was supposed to be voila.
yeah,
But he's saying wah wah.
wah wah. It just sounds like wah wah because the audio's like blown out.
Oh.
And so that was like the only video ad on all of iPhone for some reason. And so it just became a meme to just say wah wah.
It's just WA, WA.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this part. Where he starts beating the shit out of his grandpa.
This is a very narrow ship. I feel like it would just kind of fall over.
And it's 5 people, or it's like 7 to 9 people wide.
It's like a bicycle. You always have to be moving forward or else it's going to topple over.
The series of coincidences that have to lead up to this moment happening is ridiculous. The only black chocobo in the world.
That's one of the things that makes this story just feel like a big joke, is all the coincidences. In serious stories, you're not supposed to use coincidences to get people out of trouble. But in this game, it kind of does that a lot. Okay, you want to hear my top 5 instruments?
Sure.
You can rate them.
Rate your
Okay,
ratings.
we'll go from worst to best like a YouTube video.
Okay.
I think number 5 is going to be the plucked acoustic bass.
It's on my house. Not the house.
It's on my house.
You can find my house.
Number 4 is vibraphone. I can never keep all 5 of them in my brain at once. Oh yeah, steel drums. Number 3 is steel drums. Number 2 is alto saxophone. Number 1 is grand piano. Although I am heavily basing my list off of, like, video game MIDI sounds rather than, like, what this instrument might actually sound like. How do you feel about my top 5?
I can't even really think of what those sound like off the top of my head, so I'm just going to say it's a good list.
Okay, whatever. You know that cutscene in Tales of Destiny when you're in Dallas's house? Like Dallas and Mary's house is supposed to be really emotional, but we were just like, why is that chest not opened?
Yeah.
That's always really funny in RPGs, like a very lived-in house. And there's just like an unopened chest.
Unopened treasure chest that just has like a potion in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that RPG homes are not good places. It's like RPG homes are where all of the secret chests should be. Or they're not like secret chests, just like you walk up to a cabinet and you press A.
Yeah. People don't have actual treasure chests
Yeah.
sitting out with actual treasure in it.
Exactly.
What have you done?
Fuck this guy.
We're all oh. Okay.
What?
Oh. So when it didn't work last time, that's probably why, because it has a very low chance.
I definitely didn't expect that shit.
You'd think they'd be used to that.
Being sucked in quicksand, considering this is the quicksand desert? Yeah, I definitely would think
You'd think
that.
they'd be like, oh, I'll just come back up because I'm a quicksand being.
But that sandworm can cast quicksand on you, and all it does is do like minimal damage and do sap.
This is a sad sight.
The sand bear.
It's
He's very sad looking. There's something about this bear. Okay, well now it's dead. Do you even get anything for it? Oh yeah, it actually counts as killing it.
Dancer,
Yes.
Prancer, Vixen, Blitzen, Richard Nixon. Bio Soldier. I feel like these are in the wrong game, in the wrong area.
I don't know why these guys are just out here.
Oh, Jesus, that is a palette.
Bio is like that ever since 4.
Lee.
It makes a great sound effect.
Okay, this is the place with the sequence of things, and then it's just something simple.
Yeah.
But can you do the simple thing right off the bat?
No, because you push the lever, and then the solution is that you have to pull the lever.
Oh.
But you don't know that until you read a note saying pull the lever.
That was another thing about PS1 version, is that when you win a battle, it says yes.
Yeah, with a bunch of S's.
Well, if you say no, can you pull it?
I'm not sure. Try, like, pushing it again. Whoa!
Oh.
You can just skip all that shit. I didn't know that. This next boss is weak to lightning, by the way, if you want to throw the lightning scrolls. He'll die in like 2 hits. Mid. Throw the fuck off.
I'll throw mid.
Please do.
This is bad. Don't do this on the ship.
Dead.
Is that why everyone's hair is weird in this?
Yeah, her hair is blue. That guy's hair is blue.
You just salute. Is that like Bart's signature move? I never even thought about that. Doesn't only he do that, like...
The head tapping thing?
Oh, it's a head tap? I thought it was like
It's originally used, the way it looks is, yeah, it's like a head tap, but I'm not sure.
It kind of looks like he saluted right there. Remember in Final Fantasy II when you win the battle and you just run, like you walk away, but whoever's dead just gets left behind?
Yeah.
Remember, I don't really know much about Chrono Trigger, but I remember Bro Team was talking about it. He was playing Minecraft Story Mode, and that game has a ton of things. It's like you just pointed at a thing and you press A to do it. It's like there's nothing else you can do. And he said it was like in Chrono Trigger where it's like, do you want to do this thing that progresses the story? And you have a yes or a no, and when you choose no, the game's like, come on dude, that's progresses the story, you know you're supposed to do it, just do it. I think if they actually, like the same team actually, for some reason, decided to remake this game, the same team that's doing FF7 Remake, that they would make a lot of the story like way more serious and less jokey. Because I think what they should do is just lean into it and make it even more ridiculous and like in a format where everything is like actually just what it is instead of just representations of what it is, you know? You could take it and just be like, yeah, it is actually that ridiculous. What's going on?
That mid did just beat the shit out of his grandpa at Mach 20.
And play like bongo sound.
I think that the game would be made more serious, but it would still... I think it'd be kind of like how the Resident Evil 4 remake is looking, where it's like, it is being more serious than the original, but it does still have goofy moments. Like, apparently they still kept in the line about Leon saying, where'd everybody go? Bingo?
Let's just became completely ridiculous in 1 second.
You know, with a turban?
He went from like normal guy with normal sword to like racist caricature with candy cane sword.
Or like a smallpox sword.
They should make Candyland Adventures 2 and have a job system.
Candy what?
Candyland.
Yeah.
Which is like the worst board game of all time. Has a computer game called Candyland Adventure, which isn't a board game at all, it's just an adventure. I used to check out that game a lot from the library for some reason. It has like full VA.
Do you just say it like that? Is that necessary?
Full English VA. As opposed to
fully dubbed.
None of the other regions it was released in, I guess. It just involves a lot of people like eating candy. And I was like, that's cool, I like candy.
That's cool.
I want to watch other people eat candy. I mean, that's what YouTube is, to an extent, right? Watch other people enjoy things.
I guess so, when you put it like that, but I'd rather you not put it like that, because I don't want to think about it.
Like that channel, Good Mythical Morning, it used to just be like a pretty normal kind of podcasty thing, and now you look at their latest videos, just every day they put like, we tasted every Krispy Kreme flavor. We ate every single detergent. What's the best flavor of candy corn? It's just all of it. Every single video is just them eating food. Whether it's like ridiculous food, disgusting food, or just like we just ate like a bunch of chocolate, and that's the video. And look at that.
Get out!
Just dropped some shit on his head. Whatever.
Get out!
You just did the thing in Zillia where Elvin shoots the rock.
Oh yeah.
Not only is Ryan Drummond the best Sonic.
Is he Adventure?
Yeah. Adventure Sonic is just the best Sonic in general. All the art of him is so explosive.
Stylized.
It feels like the new like taller Sonic is more rigid. But all the like art, like you'll just look at the cover of Sonic Adventure Dreamcast and it's like crazy. I'm the king.
Nothing unusual here.
But's dad is Dorgan, right?
Yes, I think so.
You know, Dorgan is an anagram of X-Death.
Oh shit, he's right. Garky Mazra. It's called Jackanapes in the GBA version.
They probably just saw that, like, Katakana or whatever, and was like, I don't know. You know in Germa's tactical intervention video when Star's mic is blown out and he's like, we win! That's what it should be when you win the battle. Instead of, yes! Just plays that fucking sound. That's a great joke. That's like the most throwaway joke I've ever seen. It's like one of those things where it's like somebody faints, like they're in the doctor's office and they get like bad news and then they faint and then they wake up and like, oh, I just had this terrible dream, I got bad news. And then they faint again. It's like that, but even more
stupid.
It was just pointless because it was good news. It was like, I just had a dream that this happened. Hey, it happened. Cool, let's move on.
And they bonk their heads.
What would a blue mage spelled like blue cheese do?
Smell bad.
I feel like I've told this story so many times, but it still cracks me up that Gao is the blue mage in 6. He's like the wild boy.
Mm-hmm.
You send him out into the wild and he comes back with blue magic like mid-battle later. It's kind of a neat mechanic. But you send him out and then he comes back with fucking Magitech laser.
Yeah.
It's like, where were you? How did you figure this out?
Well, what the fuck, dude? Why is Magitech laser even blue magic?
I know. That's the thing. It's not even that like he is the blue mage. It's just that like he just can learn pretty much anything anybody can do. Yeah, it probably doesn't matter.
Just have nuts parts be a ninja. I should have called him Nuts.
I'm realizing that I just don't get blue magic. It's like you use the fucking flamethrower move and it does 1 damage. I'm like, I don't know what you want from me, game. I'm trying to use your mechanics. I have to get hit by this shit to learn it, and then it does like 1 damage.
This is what I'm talking about. Blue magic has like 5 good spells, and those spells are very good, but you really just can't beat like a black mage just casting Faraga on some shithead and just nuking him with 3,000 damage.
That's the problem, is like, I guess just a byproduct of this being one of the first of its trying something new, where you can do smart stuff, but being smart tends to not be as good as just brute force. I'm not even I'm like off the top of my head, I can't even think of how I would reward smarts in this kind of thing.
I think the chemist is the best with that kind of thing, because you need like a whole fucking spreadsheet next to you of shit that you
There's
need
probably
to do.
some small Japanese tween who had his little notebook and wrote down all the combinations as he figured them out.
Yeah, because back in the day you had to experiment that shit for yourself.
Why be strategic when you can click the random thing happens button and an anvil falls on your head?
I remember in Space Funeral, the unofficial sequel, there were, like, one of the things you can do as the main guy is just something completely random happens, and I did that, and each character gained 10 levels. And I was like, okay, never gonna hit that button again, because I just know as soon as I use it again, it's gonna be like dropped 20 levels.
Yeah. The one thing I've heard about that is at the end of the game, the moral of the story is that you shouldn't make assets for your RPG Maker games if they're gonna suck or something.
That wasn't really the moral.
That's like the one thing I've heard about the game. That's like part of the point of the game is making fun of that.
I mean, it's like, yeah, you beat the final boss, and then all the tile sets, everything just goes back to looking like generic RPG Maker, like built-in shit. Which I assume was a joke, where it's like, oh hey, we beat the game, now everything's boring. Fuck off. Oh, you can't say that.